Hey, it's Taj. I'm back with another video. This time, I'm answering questions that people ask me on TikTok because I got like dummy questions about how I applied to the school, how, like what I'm really supposed to do, my credentials, like my grades and stuff like that, and if it was hard, if it was easy. So I'm gonna answer all of that in this video right here. Okay, question number one, is this for exchange student or is this for my full-time? This is for full-time, so my full 4 years of university I'll be spending over there. That's how I applied. I didn't apply through a school or through a program. I did it all on my own. Number two, what is my major? My major is international studies. It's one of the majors that's taught only in English. When you go to the website, there's a lot of different options under the admissions guide. This is just for Korea University. I don't know about other universities, but for this one, you have like a list of majors you can choose from, and some of them tell you that you need to submit a topic score, which is the what is it? Anyway, your Korean language efficiency score, or your TOEFL score, or like if you're like me and you grew up in a country that speaks English as the main language, you can just submit them your high school transcripts. And they some of them ask you to speak Korean because some majors offer classes in Korean and not just English, whereas my major just offers classes in English, so I just needed to submit an English score. You don't need to know how to speak Korean to go to the university for this major. Yeah? Okay, people are asking, is it too late to apply to school? No, actually, at least for this school, there's application guide for spring 2021. So I'm going to be talking to help people who want to apply for spring or for later, but for like the full degree, because I know a lot of people doing exchange, and I know like every YouTube video ever is exchange, and they're talking about going through their home university, but when you don't have a home university, what do you do? So that's what I'm talking about. Tuition is not terrible. It's pretty like okay priced. It's like reasonable compared to the tuition in America. Depending on your major choice, of course, if it's like humanities or if it's like science, it differs, but it's between like $3,000 to like $5,000-$6,000 a semester. Not terrible. And there are scholarships, so you can do the Korean government scholarship thing, and then while you're already a student at the school, if you get accepted, they might also give you a scholarship. And then on top of that, while you're in school there, you can also still apply for scholarships. So don't be discouraged. I'm sure there's a lot of programs. If you look up Korean government scholarship for like different universities, there's dummy programs to help you financially afford college in Korea abroad. Housing. Okay, where can you stay? Well, there's a lot of different options. I know that in the area there's a lot of like goshi-wons, which are really tiny little rooms, which I think are pretty okay, because at the end of the day, you're going to school, like what are you gonna do? And Seoul is a pretty open place, like for times at least. So if you don't want to do your homework in your room, you can go to a library, to a cafe or something. So there's goshi-wons, there's the dorms, of course, but I heard like the dorms, I've been watching a lot of dorm videos, the dorms are really high up a hill, so if you have trouble like walking up hills and you want to apply to the school, then totally look into like goshi-wons. If you have enough money to put down on like an apartment or something, go ahead and do that. I'm sure there's a lot of videos about that, and then once I get to Korea, I'll probably make more videos about like housing and things like that, because I'm not there right now, so I don't know. Now let's get into the actual application process. This process is long, and it's long. So what you need to do first, make sure you have all of your documents, because what I made mistake the first time I applied was all my documents were not ready. So once you go to the Office of International Affairs, the Korea University website, you will see different areas. You need to click degree program and then application guide. So on the application guide, it shows you a whole bunch of different majors. So you can choose from things in humanities, in science, physical education even, and different majors require different things, different documents to be submitted. For my major, what I needed to do, I needed to send my transcripts. Transcripts and diploma need to be sent to the university by mail, and you can't just send them the way they are. You need to get them notarized, and then after you get those 2 documents notarized, you need to send them to an apostille or the consulate in your area for them to stamp it to say that it's okay to send to South Korea. That was the part that took me the longest, because you need to really do that early so that you're not, by the deadlines, you're not like late, because the deadlines, if you send something after the deadline, they're not gonna accept you like at all. Like the first time I applied, they did not accept me because I sent my things too late. So what you need to do is make sure you send things on time, preferably like a week before deadline, because if there's anything wrong with your papers, they can call you and tell you, hey, can you send something in? So first, that. Then you need to send your passports, your passport, your mom and your father's passports. All of their passports need to be sent to them, and then they need to make sure that like they're valid. So I sent a birth certificate showing a family certificate, because on your birth certificate it should say, I'm speaking for people in America, I don't know around the world how it works, but it should say like your name and your parents' name on it, and then it should match up with the passport photos. You know, you need to print out a copy of the application, because you do the application online and then you have to print it out. A personal statement, that's my favorite part. I love the personal statement. So the personal statement is where they ask you questions and you need to answer them, obviously. But when you write them, you need to make sure it's like, it sounds like you care about this school, because I had a really hard time writing that at first, and I asked my friends to help me out, because you had to really, you know, write you at the same time, not write just for them to accept you. It's like, you know, but if you want information on my personal statement writing thing, then I'll talk about it in another video if you guys care. School record. School record is like, they ask you how many schools you've gone to and stuff like that. That's like a whole other part of this. And then a letter of consent, which is what it's part of the documents they're gonna send you anyway. So don't worry about that until you begin to apply. Then they ask you for a recommendation letter. So for me, I asked my high school teacher for a recommendation, because I was really open about like learning Korean, studying Korean in school, and that teacher knew that I was doing this for like ever. So I asked him to write me a recommendation letter, and he was like, okay, sure, whatever, like period. And I was like, yes. So make sure you have someone that you trust to write you a recommendation letter that you know is going to say good things about you, because you don't want them to say bad things like by accident and then have the school see it and be like, well, if they didn't, you know, that kind of behavior. Yes, then a diploma, your transcripts, and if you haven't graduated yet, like an expected graduation certificate date, and yes. And then if you want to do art and design, you have to submit a portfolio and stuff like that, but that's not what I did. And then if you have like SAT scores or whatever, on the application, it leaves a space for you to write that in. So you can totally go ahead and do that. So my grades in high school, I did take like APs and things like that, but I don't think that they looked at my grades as much as they did at my personal statement and the fact that I submitted all my documents, because my grades were like pretty average. Like my GPA was like a 3.2 at the end, so it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like the best. And I also think though that they do, for each major, there's a lot of different people, like a lot of people apply for business. They accept a lot of people from around the world. So like everyone that I know who got accepted as well is all from a different country in the world. So you really have to like, I don't know, like write yourself up. If you're from a country like the US, I feel like a lot of people from the US apply. You have to really, in the personal statement, really get into it, because they ask you different questions and you need to make yourself sound like you'd be a good student to study at their university. So yes, I think that's all. If that is not everything, oopsies, I'm sorry, but thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to look at my reaction video, it's gonna be in the card somewhere, or even in the little ending thingies in the video. But anyway, if you want to see more, if you want to follow me on my journey, like I said in my last video, if you want to follow me on my journey to the university, if you want to be caught up, because in about a month and a half, I'm going to start posting videos about me like getting ready to go and stuff like that, then subscribe and like and comment, and follow my Instagram if you have like personaler questions, like how to do things specifically, I guess. My Instagram is right here, and you can message me. A lot of people found me from TikTok, so if you want to follow my TikTok, I'll put it in my description. I don't really post much there, but yes, thank you so much. Have a good time. Stay safe. Yeah.